everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Butterfly Effect Podcast. Today, I'm joined by the man who has many names.
Yeah.
Ty. Some call you Daddy.
Listen.
Most people watching probably know you as WhyKhaliq. Welcome to the podcast.
I'm excited.
Thank you for being here. You begged me enough.
Did I?
You did. And I have proof. And I just have to say this. Don't get mad. Biggest diva I've had asks for fruit when he comes.
That's crazy.
Comes over an hour late.
My gosh. That's crazy.
And then tells me if he gets a ticket, I have to pay for it. When nobody told you not to pay for it.
Speaking of, I haven't paid for it.
It's fine.
Second, see, that's why you paying for it, because you keep telling me it's fine and that you've done it. So if you test the luck, I'm testing the luck.
I have not got a ticket. I've been parking on the street like that.
Okay, if I get one, you gotta pay it.
No, we'll settle this in the court.
She told me to come a little later after the time we scheduled.
15 minutes later, not.
And
what'd you do?
You know, I was definitely on my way. You know, I had to stop and get some gas. A little small gas run.
On your way where? Because you told me you took a nap, so.
I did take a nap, but when I woke up, I was in time, you know what I'm saying? And then I had to get some gas. Of course, you know, I had to medicate on my way.
Right.
Get in my vibe, you know what I'm saying?
You're lucky my phone is recording or else I would pull up this because that's not how things went. For sure, because you're the guest, I will let it be.
And, you know, she's been begging me to come on here
All right, this podcast is over. Thank you for watching.
And speak my truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's always been like, Ty, you know, you got a lot to say. You know, you have a lot of opinions in different areas. I think you would really fit as a nice co-host on this Butterfly Flex. So actually, this episode is announcing that, you know, I'm the newest, you know, co-host of this podcast, right? You know, so. Welcome to Y-Fam, to the Butterfly Podcast.
Oh, and we're Y-Fam. Hi, Y-Fam. It's like you're changing the name already.
So,
yeah, well, I actually am. Thank you for coming. I am really excited to have you here. You did beg me, so don't get it twisted.
All right, I'll let
but
you
I'm
in.
excited to have you here because even when I didn't want to hear it, you have helped me in a lot of different areas. Even when it was calling me out. You do have a lot of insightful takes on things, so I'm excited to hear how this episode goes. But for people who don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about what you do, who you are?
Yeah, like she said, I have a lot of names, so it's depending on what you know me as. You know, WhyKhaliq, aka Mr. WhyWednesday. You know, Lil Clyde. You know what I'm saying?
That's the other one.
North Baby. You know what I mean? Like,
no, that's a new one. Where's that one from?
Yeah, we all North babies. We from the North.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
Or what people would call the Midwest, but
the North.
Yeah, we're really from up north.
Yeah.
Let's keep it honest.
That's it?
We have a lot more, but we're going to keep a lot of those discreet, because then otherwise, you know, people watching, they can't know all of my aliases.
Right.
You got to keep some of them, you know,
hidden.
Discreet.
Totally understand, but not want to put you on blast like that.
But, yeah.
Well, what do you do? Where does WhyWednesday?
WhyWednesday? That also come from just me being, you know, like trying to find a way to connect with my audience and people who really engage with what I have going on, even if it's outside of the music and just.
You didn't even say you were a musician.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm an artist.
Music.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess I assume that everybody should know that I'm an artist, but
why should we assume that?
But that was my bad. Players fuck up. But yeah, I am an artist. I've been making music in the city for probably 10 plus years.
Dang.
You know, just kind of just making music, even if it was at a professional or like releasing it, but just kind of, you know, writing it down and getting the words out. But far as back to the WhyWednesday, like that kind of came as I continued to like really learn who I was as an artist and just like trying to figure out how do I connect and stay and have a cohesiveness with my audience. And I wanted to market a day that was just for us, as far as like when I release music, and just be in contact and things like that. And it all started off, I remember back, I can't remember what year it was, but we did Prof Outdoors. It was like Prof Outdoors 3. And I remember it was a festival that he did outside the Caboose. And I remember leading up to it, we just dropped a bunch of songs on every Wednesday. It was like 10 weeks in a row. And I was just, why Wednesday? And I just kept rolling with it. And it just became a part of me where it's like, the songs haven't necessarily, like, I'm not dropping songs every Wednesday how I was at that particular moment. But it's always been a part of my brand where it's just like releasing music, releasing content, like using Wednesday as a day to just really try to hyper connect with my fans. And at the same time, like, it's something that I'm also in an area and space of, like, just revamping it and making it new, making it fresh, and just really trying to figure out how to pump new content in the day and age that we in, because it's not just all about the audio experience, you know what I'm saying? It's everything encapsulated, like, so really, finding that balance of, like, what that actually means to the everyday person and how it can translate outside of the music and what a Why Wednesday can be. So, yeah, really, we sat down and we had conversations about ideas and, No,
I'm trying to get in on this Why Wednesday. But this man is so hard to schedule with.
Listen,
it's a miracle.
We're not here for the slights. We're not here for the slights, okay?
This is the last one. That was the last one for now. But what's your why?
My kids. Just cause, like, I'm trying to build a legacy for them, like, like leave something that they can take and they can continue to grow with, even if it's necessarily not even their passion, where they can find their own passions, but leaving a blueprint for them to be able to find what that thing is, you know what I'm saying? And even down to just, like, personal things where it's like being the best version of myself, like, that's to be able to create the best environment for my children, you know what I'm saying? And to be able to provide and give them the life and things that, I didn't get the chance to. And I know that sounds cliche because it sounds like it's like material things and like, oh, let me just buy them what I didn't have, or, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, no, like, those lessons that I didn't have, those conversations that I didn't have with my parents, or the memories that I didn't have.
Experiences.
Exactly. Yeah. And I value that more than I value the toys and more than I value the material things. It's more like, what can I show them? What can I give them so they can remember? Because I think experiences is all we get to leave, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't remember the G.I. Joe I got for my 7th birthday.
Yeah.
I can remember when I went to Great Wolf Lodge or maybe traveled and went to Houston for my birthday or whatever the case may be. So, but yeah, that's my why. And my family, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then also too, just wanting to be the best version of myself, you know what I mean? In all aspects. Like, if it's being a good man and respectful and, you know what I'm saying, and treating everybody with respect, and if it's being a good dad, being a good friend, you know what I'm saying, being a good boyfriend, husband, whatever the case may be, I think that's my why. Is like, how can I present and be myself?
The best version of yourself.
You know what I mean? It's so crazy because why is in my name. Like, and that's what's crazy about my name. It's like the question of, like, that's keeps you going, you know what I'm saying? So with Khaliq meaning creator, like, it's like, why create? So I'm always.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
So it's like it's a constant question to myself of, like, why am I doing this? What's my purpose? You know what I mean? So.
I love that. So obviously we'll drop this stuff later, but definitely go follow him. I saw some of your music videos.
Yeah, some old ones.
Yeah, some of your old ones, and they're good. They're really good. Yeah. When I was watching, I was like, wow. I really did think this. I was like, his kids get to see this someday. Mm-hmm. Like, his kids get to see that their dad chased his passion. Like, and he put his all into it, and it's really good too. Yeah. And I just thought that was so cool because I was like, wow. If I would have had somebody, because I'm the first in my family to do anything like this. And if I would have had somebody before me doing it, like, I can only imagine how much further along I would be. Not even just on this, but chasing whatever I wanted to do. And I feel like your kids are going to see that because you've done that for yourself. They're going to know they can do whatever they want. I think that's really cool.
100%. Sometimes I don't even think about it too like that, like, because I forget that I'm so in the moment that I do sometimes can forget that my children will see this at some point in time, and or you know, they see just they like I sometimes I fail to realize that they recognize what I already do, you know, like because it's been so used to them and me that like them seeing me record a song is like an everyday thing, you know what I'm saying? Whereas like I can only imagine how that affects them, because I remember being a kid and just like, if my dad told me he didn't put pennies in his pocket, I didn't put pennies in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Because it's my dad said it. Like it.
Why?
Just that he's superstitious as hell.
Well, I need is not. I don't. I guess
he's superstitious. But I say that to say that like being a kid and when you're looking at your parents, they're your superheroes.
Yeah.
That's all you know. You know what I'm saying? Like so. And I just the things that I do remember about moments with my parents and things like that. Like I only can imagine what my children would have to be able to be like. I remember standing there when Dad was doing this and doing that and seeing it and firsthand, to be able to amplify it and input it into their lifestyles. Because for me, like I didn't necessarily have that from my parents, but I had to go seek it. You feel what I'm saying? So it was like, all right, if I want to play basketball, well, I got to go put myself around people that play basketball and coaches and people that's going to take me to the gym and, you know what I'm saying, things like that. Whereas like, had I had the reference of seeing my dad go to the gym every day and he's going and he's putting up shots, and I'm probably have more, you know what I'm saying, like more excitement or more engagement in it and already of understanding what's going on. So I definitely think that like the benefit of them watching and being able to be a part of the life, that's why I try to bring them around everything that I do. If it's from music, my everyday work, my work job, you know what I'm saying, my 9 to 5, if it's, you know what I'm saying, coming to podcasts, whatever the case may be, like I make sure that they see it, to just know that like when I'm not just talking about it when they older, and I'm like, remember our dad used to do this and that, and it's like and it's like, well, where's it at? I didn't see it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to see it. Like my dad used to do that shit with me. He'd be like, back in my day I used to hoop. Nigga, well, why ain't you hooping with me? Like cause you not hooping with me. You ain't came to the gym with me one time yet, nigga. I ain't seen you shoot a jump shot. So it's like you telling me something that I haven't seen. So I'm saying that to say that like I want to make sure that they get to see anything that I'm saying I'm putting my mind to, so they can know what that looks like. It don't mean that they have to do music. It don't mean that they have to do this and do that. Whatever their creative or whatever their passions are, just I want them to see that what passion looks like. You feel what I'm saying?
That exposure is everything for them. Yeah. What obstacles have you faced as a Minnesota artist? Because I've had other people in my life, like friends who have been in this career, I guess, or this circle, and they say that it's like very difficult to make music in Minnesota, that like because it's not like people are like, it's like crabs in a bucket, kind of like when they see someone up they want to pull them down and nobody else wants to support each other. And I don't think that's, from what I see with you, that's not the case. But have you had any obstacles with that?
I mean, I think there's cases of that. I think there's cases of it kind of in like any backyard.
Yeah.
But I think that comes from, one, we're a small city, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody know everybody to a personal level, you know what I'm saying? Some people that went to school with people and they know their auntie, know their cousin. So some of the times, some people don't want to see people up because it's personal reasons. It's outside the music. You get what I'm saying? Or it's ego, or it's like, you know, I come from the same school as you. I don't want to see you do better than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how small it is here. But at the same time, I think we do have that mentality where it's like, it's a me first, instead of like just get the door open. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the door open and we all come in. Yeah. And I think it's a lack of understanding that there's room and space for everybody. I think being a musician, there's so many different avenues and how you can make money and what you can monetize your music from, that I feel that everybody wants to just have this one path. You know what I'm saying? They think it's one path. Like, there's people who's touring the world that's making a living that you may never know about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that you may never even think that person's touring, and you can say that their music's corny, but people pull up to the venue and they're gonna watch it. So it's like there's people who make a livelihood off of the music without having to be the main person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's people who make music from make money from syncing their music into movies and TV shows and different things like that. There's people who make money for writing for other people and production. All these different things and different avenues that I think we fail to realize that it's more of a popularity contest sometimes, you know what I'm saying, and perception. We're also from a state, like I said, that is so small that we need the perception to make it to portray that it's something that it's not. You feel what I'm saying? Like most people are already thinking that Minnesota is just this farmland, it's this cold place, this tundra, whatever the case may be. And so now artists are finding themselves having to like overcompensate to try to like project this sense of artistry that's from somewhere else that they may see from LA or whatever. And it's like, I think authenticity is what always sustains versus you trying to put on a mask to please everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And I think when you're authentic, and a lot of times with artists, when you're yourself, that's what pushes you through. Now I think the challenge is like also to your question of like, if we're like, what's the mentality or like crabs in the bucket? It depends on the time we're speaking about too. Like, I feel like prior to 2020, it's definitely been like crabs in a bucket and like very like everybody's trying to like just be on top, and we had enough momentum to be able to push everybody. I think now in 2023, like it's more so about we're just in a land of marketing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we can make it from anywhere. Of course, I think it's important to plant your seeds and be into other places and other things. But for the most part, I think that like now it's about understanding how to present your brand, how to market yourself, and knowing what your niche is. And that's the most important thing about artistry and attacking it. Even for myself.
There's just so many different paths. I've even ran into that with this podcast, and like it's like, okay, you have to be on this and you have to be on this, then you have to do this, you have to post every single day, and you have to have these clips, and it's just like there's different ways that you're saying like to get to the end goal. For me, I get overwhelmed with what path to take. But what specific obstacles have you faced being an artist in Minnesota, like you specifically?
I say funding.
Yeah, I mean, people speak on it, but that is so hard because when you come from a passion, like I made like $20 doing this.
Yeah.
You don't make money doing this, and you invest so much time and energy into it, and you don't see that monetary return sometimes ever, but for a really long time, and you're investing a ton of money into it too, like equipment. Yeah, I can see that. How? Because you produce a lot of your own stuff.
Like I definitely like record, mix, and produce a lot. I don't necessarily produce like all of the instruments and things like that. I do a lot of post production and, you know, creating a vision that I see for the music. But when I also say funding, it's like I think to really do a lot of things you need like money. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the work comes from, you know, being able to be in certain places, certain things, and that comes with money, you know what I'm saying? Having to travel, just going certain places for a week and to record music. Can you know, pay for the video and then pay for wardrobe and then pay for the videographer and then pay for, you know, the graphic design person and all of these different things. But that also comes into like, you know, where a team comes into play, you know, and having the right people around you and things like that. But then even after that aspect, okay, now you got marketing budgets, you know what I'm saying? You got album budgets, you know what I mean? You got budgets that you're trying to make for mixing and mastering, which is a whole nother separate process that artists don't understand. And then like, if it's networking, if it's getting on shows, tours, you know what I'm saying? Like money don't just show up. So it's like, you definitely gotta you definitely gotta be on your hustle as far as like, you know what I'm saying, how you trying to make your income and really trying to make money from, you know what I'm saying, and from and monetizing you as a brand. So I think that's the most important thing, is finding out how to make the money from yourself, you know.
And that's just when it is related to music. You still have life. You got rent, you got car payments, you have kids that you have to pay for. So then you have to have a full-time job. Not that this isn't a job, but you have a full-time job to fund all of that, and then that takes away from the energy and the time that you can spend on your music.
Yeah.
Has that been hard? It's
always a balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been through all the phases, you know what I'm saying, where I've been through the phase of just like, you know what, I'm just going to sacrifice, and I ain't going to work a job every day. I'm hustling, I'm struggling, figuring this out. The starving artist.
That's where I'm at now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but you need it, though, you know what I'm saying? And that hunger is what builds it, you know what I mean? And then also, too, like, I've been at the point where I'm like, you know, fuck working for somebody. I ain't finna work for somebody. And, you know, and honestly, I still feel that way. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that for me, I'm not gonna work for somebody for the rest of my life. I know the potential. I know the plans and where, you know what I'm saying, my life is going to be. However, like, does that come with lowering your ego and your pride for certain things? You feel what I'm saying? Like, because I did have two beautiful children, like, that takes away from just like having the ease to just be like, oh, I can just figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do have two little girls depending on me and their livelihood. You know what I'm saying? So now my thought process can't be so selfish. You know what I'm saying? My thought process can't just be tailored to what I may necessarily want. Has that been hard trying to balance that with artistry and things like that? For sure. But at the same time, like, you find ways to make it work. You know what I'm saying? You learn your schedule. You learn when that you have your time to do certain things. And my best advice is to, like, if you are an artist that's working a day job or something like that, work a job that will benefit you in both lives. Yeah. You know, so you can at least, you know, be able to take skills away from one of both things and apply them to both, or, you know, be able to use it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like I said, it's a balance thing. It's more so like, you know, as long as my bills is paid, my kids is fed and clothed and bathed, and then everything else, you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna figure it out. And I'm back in that same hungry artist, like, you know what I'm saying, you gotta, like, go get it and sacrifice. It's just on a more adult and mature level, you know what I'm saying, where it's like I have responsibilities, but I also have risks I have to take. You know what I'm saying? So the risks are more mitigated and more thought out, but, you know what I'm saying, it's not so just jump off the bridge like how I was as a kid, like, because I do have two people to think about. But at the same time, I have that no boundary, you know, where I'm like, you know, it's about risk, and it's about whatever risk you take, it's the reward you get from it, you know what I'm saying? So I have to continue to believe in myself, and what would I do, or what role model would I be to my children to tell them to follow their passions, and then I stop following mine, or I don't continue to pursue it. So, you know, it comes, and it's going to be a day that everything comes fruitful, you know what I'm saying? And I look back on all the moments and just look at the journey and be like, it's all about, you know, what it took to get to where you're going, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Okay, on the flip side of, like, the struggle, what is something you're most proud of that you've accomplished in your passion, like either Why Wednesday just in general or your music? Obviously, your kids are going to be probably your most number one thing, but in terms of music, what's something you're most proud of that you've accomplished so far?
I say two things. I say just traveling and meeting people. I think.
Who's the coolest person you met?
I don't know. That's a good question. I've met a few different people. Some of the people I didn't get a chance to, like, fully meet. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the same room as them. A lot of times, like, because I'm an artist, I try to put myself in their position in certain areas and understand, like, when is the best time to be asking questions and, like, introducing yourselves and things like that. Like, because I've been in those situations too. So like for instance, if I'm like backstage or something with certain people, like I'm not the person that's just going like wow out and be like, oh, that's such and such. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll go create like a genuine conversation.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was backstage with King Los, and he was he's an artist with, I don't know if he's still signed with them, but he was with MMG with Rick Ross and them and Meek Mills. And he did a show at the Amsterdam, not too far from here. And he came in, and you know everybody like Los, what's up, blah blah blah. And I'm kind of just sitting in the back, and I'm just chilling. And he walks up to me and he says, "You an artist, huh?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "What made you say that?" He's like, "I could just tell." Like I could just tell in your vibe. And we started talking.
Like he came to you.
Yeah. And we started talking, and I'm not even saying it like that, but we just started talking. He was just like, I appreciate, you know what I'm saying? We started having a conversation. This is when I, like, not even on a vegan tip, but I remember vividly telling him, like, yo, bro, I got a headache. And he was like, we was having a conversation. He's like, man, you need to go on a fruit fast, bro. Like 7 weeks, for 7 days, I meant to say. For 7 days, he's like, for 7 days, just go drink nothing but fruit and what's it called? My daughter calling me now. He's like, yeah, go on a fruit fast for 7 days, man. Cleanse your body. You'll stop having them headaches. And I remember that was like one of my first like start initiations to like thinking about health and wellness. You know what I'm saying? Because that was my first time seeing an artist be like, it's where it's not like junk food and lean and you know what I'm saying? Where it was like, oh, he cares about his health. And I was like, damn, okay, maybe I should start thinking about it. And this is early on, you know what I'm saying? But back to what I was saying is like, I've been in instances where, you know, I remember being in the studio with Absol too. That shit was fire as fuck. I did remember that night.
Is he a Minnesota artist?
No, he's from California, but he's with TDE.
Is that I'm not.
That's Kendrick. Well, Kendrick's not signed to them no more, but Schoolboy Q, SZA, all of them, like that camp. Okay. Like he's with them. I remember being in the studio with him. But I say that to say it's like sometimes you just like knowing when to bother people and you know what I'm saying and things like that. And also I say, reason why I say traveling and people is just because like I've got to experience the world with music.
Yeah.
And there's still places I haven't been, you know what I'm saying? Still places I haven't performed at, all of that stuff. But when I just look at it, like I've been to places like my family has never even been, just off of the pure fact of like music. So when I think about it, in a grand scheme of things, I'm blessed. So I think about it like, damn, look at all the people I got to meet, the relationships I got to build, like the opportunity to fucking be in New York and California and go to Atlanta and all these places and go and record and be in the game studio and all these different things. Like
you already won.
That's the you know what I'm saying?
That's
like
the whole thing.
Like of course everything else come with it. Like I want the money. I want, you know what I'm saying, being able to provide for my family and things like that. But at the end of the day, that's the shit that's priceless. You feel what I'm saying? That like can't nobody take away from me. Can't nobody like strip from me. You can't take that amount of money from me. You can't take that from my soul. It's already written in me. So I think that's the benefit that I get. Because also with the traveling, it allowed me to open my mind. It allowed me to be who I am and learn different people and cultures and try things and be expansive. And then outside of that, I think would be the translation of my music, right? And it's funny because I was just talking to this about this yesterday in the studio, and like when I grew up, my first like initial moment to music is seeing my mom clean the house crying to R&B, but like in a good, sometimes she be crying and be in a good, like, you know, tears of joy. Okay. But it was just, I was like, yo, it's the emotion. It's like, why does it? What is it doing that's making her want to cry, fam? Like, so I think being a storyteller, telling those stories, and being able to like invoke that feeling onto somebody, I think that's what made me want to get into music. And I think when I hear people that's like, yo, this song like really blah blah blah, or like this song really touched me here, or I really felt this song, that's when I'm like, yo, this is the best part of it. Even if it's one person, like it's like it's the best part of it. That's the only thing, and I think that's the only thing that matters. So
the connecting to people, like that is everything. Like when I hear people just like, oh my God, I listened to your podcast, I relate to that. Like, that sparks something in me. I'm like, that's my purpose. That's why I'm in my purpose right now. I could care less how many people listen to it. But if I know I'm helping someone in just that way to make them feel seen, to make them not feel alone, that's everything. Like, that's all you can ask for.
And I feel like you got the personality for it, like, you know, to be curious, to want to know, and, you know, and to be able to, like, have conversation, and I think the ability to be able to, like, have an enriched conversation is not something everybody has the ability to. Yeah. And I think that's what's going to power your whole podcast for, you know what I'm saying, is being able to have conversation and have a palette of conversations, because that's what it is, and connecting with, being able to connect with people, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's what we lack in society, is like connection.
Well, thank you for seeing that. That actually means a lot. But that's part of the whole purpose of this. Like, when you're talking about how music has allowed you the opportunity to travel the world and meet people, that's exactly what I want from this. Like, I want to travel and have just conversations about everything in life. I want to use it to grow in myself, but then also connect people to other people's stories. I want to expand my mind, and if I can do it through this, that's like a dream come true.
Right.
And so that's hopefully where the future is for that. But what's the future for you in your music?
Man, I'm working on some projects. Got an EP I'm gonna release soon.
On a Wednesday coming here.
For sure, on a Wednesday. on a WhyWednesday. You know? That, you know, videos, you know, obviously, like, I love my videos, and really pumping out. You,
like, put time into those.
Yeah.
It's not just like you have like a storyline.
It's like a project. Yeah, for sure.
It's so cool.
Like every time.
How do you get inspired for that?
It depends. Like, it depends on like what whatever the music may be, or like the vision we try to get across. You know what I'm saying? I think everything's always been like, for me, I'm a very well thought out person, and I think that it's a benefit, and it can be detrimental. You know, because sometimes, like, I can overthink shit, and you know what I mean, and just really get too far into my head. But as far as the videos, like, a lot of them, like, were definitely thought out, well planned, and executed. You know, a lot of times, like, I write scripts. Like, me and Tezzy sit down, like, what we think this video should be like, or like we may have an idea if it's a certain type of topic or a certain type of thing to like you know, get across. And I think that's always been a part of my brand though too, of like being visually like stimulant, you know what I mean? Like, where like all of my visuals, like, people, one thing that they do is like compliment like my visual representation of like my songs and things like that. However, at the same time, like, I love the space where, like, you know, because a lot of my old videos, I feel like are very, very storytell, very like cinematic and serious. And I'm excited just because, like, I'm gonna keep that same formula, but at the same time, like, I love adding the fun to it now. Yeah. You know, and seeing the just the joy, like when I did North Baby. Like, North Baby is like, I wouldn't say necessarily it's like one of my favorite videos, but I just love the feeling of it. Like, it just like just gives me that, like, you know, just fun and exciting. I'm excited to just see all the other video ideas that we have that comes with that same type of like vibe and mood, and just
can I be
like,
in the background of one?
Yeah, like, for sure.
Just, like, I'll even be a janitor in the background.
I mean, the way, you know, the way we shoot videos, you'd be acting, doing something.
Yes. My big mommy.
Yeah, like, you got to get your acting skills in.
I was in a couple plays when I was young.
See, that'll work. I haven't maybe I might have did a couple plays in high school. I do remember doing one. But yeah, shit, we gonna get on there and we learn it.
Let me know so I can get ready.
Yeah, I love it. Like, I'll be like, it's fun, but at the same time, it's also like sometimes you in situations where you like, bro, I gotta do this in front of like real random people.
Oh my god.
Like people walking by,
that's why I said I'm giving you a big role.
watching me and shit. Like I'm over here acting out and like, yeah, but it'd be fun as hell. It'd be fun. I did this little thing from one of my cousins. She's in cinematography school. She's going to school for cinematography. So we did this little like video she was doing for class, and I had to like cry in it, and it was just so funny because it was like, yo, I'm really trying to act like I'm crying. Like I really felt like I was really like acting, but I actually like it though. Like I probably like I feel like if I was to go take some acting classes and shit, like, I might be able to do it. The only thing is though, right? I was talking at work, and name black actors with locks. Most actors don't have locks.
Yeah. Well,
they want me to cut. They want me to cut my shit.
No.
But think about it though.
And that's your.
I know, but what most roles, right? Like
Halle Bailey is a Bailey.
I don't know, but all I know is when I think about like movies, I don't really see too many like.
Yeah. Well, you could be one of the first.
That's crazy.
Market Butterfly podcast.
You see how they tried to? Have you ever seen BMF?
BMF. Oh, what is that show?
Why fam? What do you call your listeners? Do you have a name for them yet?
No.
The
Flap Gang.
Yo, you're hilarious. I'm trying to think of a name too, but we're gonna come back on that. Whatever that name comes up.
Yeah, I need help.
Please tell her to go watch BMF.
Show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
About BMF.
Is it an abbreviation for something?
Black Mafia Family.
Oh yeah, no. Sorry.
You know nothing about Big Meech? Man, come on.
That sounds familiar.
Oh,
I'm out. I'm sorry.
Have you seen Friday?
Yes.
What about Baby Boy?
Yeah. That's on the bike. When he's on the bike.
Yeah, you're funny as shit.
Right?
Have you seen Next Friday?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just checking your black card.
That was probably it. Because I was taking a lot of shit for that.
What about Paid in Full? No, you haven't.
Is that Queen Latifah?
If you have to think about it.
Is that Queen Latifah?
It depends. Are you talking about Set It Off? That's crazy.
Off the bank, right? And then she dies and she's like...
That's Set It Off. She smokes a cigarette before and she's like...
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got some homework to do.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a list of black movies to watch.
Thank you. Next time you come on, we'll do a pop quiz.
I'm seeing which ones you watched.
I'll watch them. I have a white mom, and that's who I live with. I don't know what to tell you.
It's okay. We gonna make sure you make it to the barbecue.
Thank you.
We gonna make sure you make it to the barbecue.
That's all I ask. Okay. Anything else you'd like to say about your passion and music before we move on to my personal favorite topic?
You want to get to the juicy shit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, go follow me. You know, follow me on all platforms. That's, you know, at WhyKhaliq. So that's WhyKhaliq on everything. Yeah, like come vibe with me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love to share this journey. You could be a part of the Y fam. We're still thinking on her name. But yeah, like I said, come be a part of the journey. Like, it's fun. I love making the music. It's real. It's authentic. You know, it translates.
It's really good, y'all.
You know,
it really is.
Yeah, go subscribe. Go check my shit out. You
Do you have any shows coming out?
I don't, but I have something I'm working on.
I want to go to one of your shows.
Oh, you're for sure invited.
Okay.
You better be there.
I'm going to be there.
You do live podcasting.
That would be fun. I'd be scared. That would be fun.
Yeah, you do some live podcasting. Just calling artists over. Like, yo, let me talk to you.
That would be so cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, big things coming out.